Hello, hello. Move this camera. Yeah, there. Okay. So where we left off from this morning was I had to implement the knights, and now we are going to see if it worked. So commit this and pull this in, and we try it out. I also probably need to figure out sometime soon why is this so slow when I start this up. Not fast enough. Hey, Sinistel. Hey, Galaxy Inferno. Hello, hello. Good evening slash afternoon. Figure out why starting the game takes so long now. What is going on? What is going on? Like, this can't be game code slowing it down. I've seen Godot get in weird states sometimes. All right, so there's the knight. Wow. Okay. There's a lot that's funny about this. Hmm. Let's try them out in room one. Room one. All right, let's go add in a knight and put them, I don't know, here. Motion mode, grounded or floating. Interesting. I don't know if I've seen that before. Hey, Define Evil. Cool to see your stuff. The AI based things, or is the game being made? Because it's very fun to develop this stuff. I always get this kind of surreal feeling like it never seems like the right time to do something. Nothing's ever going to tell you now you should work on that feature, or now you should do that. You kind of just prioritize and go. And sometimes the next feature on the stack is a big feature, and I feel like that's happened today several times. There are big things, and I'm like, it's going to take me a while to get through. And yet here we are. It's been 3 hours and 20 minutes, and we've got whatever you can see in the game right now. All right. Yeah, so I want them to like really charge at you. I also don't want them to stop that close to you, so we got to go change a bunch of things. Knight.cs. So attack distance pixels, let's set this to 24. Then where's the charge distance? Charge speed pixels per second. I want it to be at least like double that. And yeah, so I guess this, and now let's go try that out. It's so embarrassing he jumped off the cliff. Yeah, that's how this should go. Just all the enemies just run for the edge, fall off. Oh, just seeing some of the interactions. I see what you mean. Yeah. Yeah, this game in particular, I think, is pretty fun so far. Well, I guess I felt the same way about the top-down shooter, too. It was fun to just kind of like sit around and play that game for a bit. So I kind of want them... Ooh. I don't know how they even damaged me there. I kind of want them to go a little bit faster, maybe. Yeah, so every time they get hurt... What are they doing? What is going on with that? They're like moving. Yeah, what is that animation? I don't understand. Okay, that's weird. All right, let's close every tab. Knights enter some weird animation after being hit. Knights should charge further. Let's just keep adding numbers to this until we find something that's good. That should have been 45. This should have been 60 maybe. Because I want them to like really dash toward you. And maybe stop from farther away. 24 pixels doesn't seem like a lot. Charge speed, pixels per second. Charge distance. Chase speed. Chase speed should maybe not be as much as it is either. Well, let's see. They make a zombie sound. I mean, they're very easy to kill right now. Maybe they shouldn't wait for that long before charging. No, it's all done through here anyway. Because we set up the sprite frames here. Attack, texture path. Extend second frame true. Wow, really? Okay, well. So we set it to a delay of 10. Let's set it to 6. And then attack distance pixels when they stop to attack you, right? Yes. I want this to be a little bit more, maybe like 28. And maybe just charge a bit faster. And slow down their walking speed. Maybe to 50. Stop moving. Play animation idle in the facing direction. This is after their hurt animation has played out. Yeah, I don't know how I feel about this. We don't really have a better animation to use, though. We have hurt, we have idle. That's it. It's like they should almost stay in the hurt animation for longer or be flashing or something. So I move a little slower. They charge even faster. I mean, you can just move to the side. I think they maybe just shouldn't play an animation. What do they look like when they're totally idle? I can't see because they start too close to me. So let's move them a little bit. There. Man. Yeah, I just don't know what to do about that animation. I'm also not even totally sure about this as an enemy. They don't seem that hard to beat. Like, you just let them dash while you move to the side. And they won't actually ever hurt you. Okay, so how do I want this to work? Maybe they don't wait for as long still before charging at you. Second frame. So maybe like 4 is their delay. And charge distance. I think just increase the charge speed again. Maybe lower that to 26. Yeah, I mean, if this is all we really have to do here is the fine tuning. Hey, Empty Code. Good afternoon. Let's check this out. Yeah, it's like Godot is taking too long to start. I gotta find out what it's doing. All right. Wait, are they immune? They are immune after that. What? State is hurt. What, they can't be hurt when they're... Try take hit. If they're hurt, return false. That's not supposed to be the case. If they're dying or falling, return false. Sure. Start hurt. So this plays the hurt animation again. That's totally fine. Animation finished. Enter recovery when it's done. And recovery is what plays out the idle animation. Maybe they just shouldn't play any animation. I'm not sure. Let's try that. I'm doing well. We had a pretty productive morning. I am hoping we expand this game a bit. I wanted to just move forward full throttle, and I'm probably doing that. It's just not as fast as I thought it should be. I want to do playtest the end of next week. I think this looks pretty good, actually. Yeah, now what about when they get hurt? No, they're still playing some animation. Oh, it's their hurt animation. Oh. I get it now. Their hurt animation has them getting knocked back as part of the animation, and then they step back up to where they were. So we don't need to knock them back. But this can get deleted. Hurt animation, knockback, deceleration, speed, pixels. Yeah, I don't think we need this at all here, right? Start hurt. Or maybe knock them back a little bit, but not very much. Like 5 pixels per second. So basically a couple pixels backward. Or 8 or something. What did this number used to be? 64? Let's start it at 12. Excuse me, hang on one sec. Excuse me. Yeah, that's not bad. I think I want them to face the opposite direction of the player, though. Nice. Yeah, that looks pretty good. I don't think it's restarting their animation, though. Is it? No, it should restart it. Start hurt. Play animation, restart true. So knockback direction. We don't want to set this in their facing direction. We want to set this in the knockback direction, or like the opposite of this direction, I think. Not actually sure. Anything else is a little extra work? Yeah, I agree. I generally agree. I'm just really excited. I've been following this checkpoint system, which briefly is make some features and then play test and then repeat. Well, like process feedback and then repeat. And the last checkpoint was, I don't know, June something, maybe? It was like 2 months ago. So it's been a while since I've gotten people to play the game again. And yeah, checkpoint 2 was supposed to be like August 1st. So if I say it's August 5th, no one's going to care. No one's going to, it's not going to impact anybody, basically. I haven't set up appointments already with these people to play test, but I just want to see them play the game. Also, I don't think it's ever a good idea to wait on playtests unless there's some like major thing you got to fix. Like the game crashes when you open it. Yeah, that you got to wait. But if it's like, well, this game isn't fully polished yet, it's like I could still get feedback even if it's not polished. And yeah, so I'm going to probably book this no matter what. I think one of the most difficult things, because I'm just not good enough at it yet, is going to be tomorrow. I want to come up with a good enough like bass tune for the main part of this game. I've got it for the starting part of the game, and I like that. But yeah, I got to come up with something else. So it doesn't look like it's restarting the hurt animation, and it's not facing the correct direction. I want to be opposite of the way that you're facing. No, I don't think I care about that. Let me see. So if I hit them this way, yeah, so just take the direction to you, which is down, and use that. So it's the opposite of this. And facing direction is what? A cardinal direction? Yeah. So I want to get cardinal direction, hurt direction is equal to global position dot direction to source position. And then I want this to play out again. Why doesn't it? Maybe start hurt doesn't even get called. Try take hit. If damage is less than or equals 0, if state is dying or falling, if health is less than 0. So none of those things are true, so we call start hurt. So something's going wrong in here. I mean, this has restart set to true. Oh, this is our code? If not restart, and the sprite animation is playing return. Otherwise, just start the thing. Sprite offset. That doesn't sound good. That definitely doesn't sound good. Huh. Custom speed is negative. Animation will hit backward if it's called with the same animation name or no name parameter. Resume playing if it was paused. Okay, so I guess we have to stop the animation first. Sprite dot stop. I don't know if that'll do it, but this should fix both problems. So now they should face me when they get hit. Also, before I forget, because I'm going to do this a lot, let's just not start in endless mode there. Now I don't need to keep going through this menu. Okay, so now if they're facing that way and I hit them this way, yeah, nice. So now they face me when they're hurt. And if I hurt them again, it should restart the animation. Perfect. Look at that. Love it. Yeah. All right, so let's analyze this again now that we fixed those problems. How difficult is this enemy? They chase me. They dash at me. Just not that hard to avoid them. So here's some ideas that I have. Problem, the knight isn't that difficult to defeat. Idea number one is make them charge in any direction, not just cardinal directions. And maybe like idea 1B would be make them charge in the direction that you're in when they finally are done telegraphing their move. Hey, Pickle, can I hit other enemies? No. Idea number two. We could always give them a different attack, like a slashing attack. And make them faster. Yeah, maybe just have them charge in a different direction for now. Let's go try that out. Why is this? I have two of these running? Oh, didn't expect that. How many Godot processes do I have running? Wait 1 sec. There are a lot running. That's probably the issue. Yeah, if I open up activity monitor, there's probably a lot of memory being used for this, right? Process name, where's Godot? Yeah, we have a bunch of Godot processes running. This should not be the case. Yeah, So this one I want running. I don't know which one even launched this. I guess I could just kill all Godot. Yeah. No processes. Do I have to do it this way? What? How does kill all work? Kill processes by name. The UID identical to the caller of kill all that match the name proc name. List names of available signals. Is there a way to list the processes? What am I missing here? Does it have to be capitalized? Oh, it has to be capitalized. Okay, so all of those are closed, including the one that I actually wanted open, but that's fine. We'll just reopen that. I wonder if this will stop it from taking so long to start up now. I might need to run this every once in a while. Let's just hit start. Does it start much faster? No. It doesn't. Yeah, I gotta figure out why that's happening. Like, what is this doing? Did they just like jitter and then move? What happened there? Oh, they gotta fade out when they die. We should just slow down the hurt animation instead of giving them a delay after it's done. They don't fade out when they die. Do zombies? Zombies, I think naturally do because of their death animation. Same thing with, no, maybe not. Same thing with slimes. How do I go to this? Zombie, how do you die? Yeah, they just blow up and disappear. And that's all we have, right? Slimes and zombies. Oh, skeletons as well, but I didn't test skeleton death animation. Test skeleton death animations. Do they fade out? I kind of want them to just sit there as a pile of bones for a while. All right, well, I haven't actually addressed any of these ideas, have I? After the charge can walk faster and start slashing. I like to avoid the slashing, just 'cause I think it'd be a little too tough. I want them to telegraph their move in some way. I think charging in any direction seems like a pretty good idea. So let's at least start with that and see how that feels. So charge, distance, pixels. Set facing direction. Is that just where they move? Physics process. Do they even have a charging state? They have an attacking state. Yeah, here it is. Update attack charge. Try hurt player with sword. That's fine. Update attack charge. Here we go. Desired distance. We should have a direction here. Facing direction. Yeah, I don't want it to be the facing direction. Hey, Floop. Because this is a cardinal directions. They only go up, right, left, or down. What do I want to have happen, though? Like, if you're slightly up and to the left of them, they should still be able to charge at you, I think. Then again, that might make it a little too difficult. Maybe they can move, like, very slightly away from their cardinal direction. Yeah, how about we do this? Like, vector to ideal direct, or like direction to player equals this. Is this, yeah, this should not be the case. We should just do this. Let's go fix all these problems first. That's fine. That's not needed. That's not needed. Player is null isn't needed. Anything else? Nope, that's it. Okay, so going back to this for a sec. So that's the direction of the player. Now what we want to do is we want to get this direction dot slurp with the player direction by like 0.5. Not even 0.5, 0.35. So here's what I think should happen. If, let's say, they aim to the left and you're to the upper left, they'll move like slightly toward you. So if I move here now, yeah. So that helps a little bit. But they can never go like behind themselves. Yeah, although it does change there. Yeah. Oh, and I guess I could lerp in this direction, like if I move even farther from them. No. Yeah, that's probably pretty good. Maybe we make it a little bit more extreme. Okay, there they probably shouldn't have hurt me. Yeah, they're hurting me too soon. Too soon. Unfortunately, figuring out where the hurt area corresponds to is going to be very difficult, huh? Sword area. There's a shape. Sword collision. What sets this? Literally nothing sets this. Are you kidding me? Oh, sword hitboxes. Here we go. Oh god, this is the worst. this is definitely the worst. Yeah, we should probably have it put these into the editor and use an animation tree that sets these for us. I think that would be a lot better. Okay, so sword collision boxes are wrong. Translate the, what is this all part of? Sword hitboxes into scene data under an animation player. All right, let's try to make those changes. I made a bunch of changes already, though. I guess I should check this in. Yeah, let's check in what I've done, then I'll make these. So we'll say this as the newest AI.md. Yeah, sure. Doesn't matter. Copy path. So need to apply these changes. And then while I'm doing this, let me just start another one of these. Why is it taking so long to start the game? It seems like Godot is maybe doing something that it wasn't. I don't know. Yeah, why is it taking so long to start the game? Can you profile, or can you check logs, or maybe profile the startup to see how long it's taking? There. All right, so that's bomb. We're fine with that. Does 5 damage. Drop some coins when they die. This doesn't matter. This is in Dungeon Piece 1. We're going to revert this whole file. Roll back. All right, I was to say, mobile enemies can move between dungeon pieces. They must not be freed when an old piece is freed. Cool. Yep. Yep. And yep. Yeah, this is where we need some common enemy initialization logic. All of this stuff looks totally fine, though. What is that for? Why is this here? Do zombies need this? What does this do? State is already dying or falling, return. Otherwise, set it to falling, stop moving, disable combat collisions. Yeah. Yeah, sure. Do we already disable? Yeah, we disable its process mode. That's probably good enough. We probably don't need any of this because this is only ever called from this one spot. Stop moving. It can't move because it'll be disabled. I don't think we need this. I don't think we need any of this. Unfortunately, we cannot test this because this does not exist in a room where the tiles fall. Three consecutive runs produce roughly 22 gigabyte log files. What? Wow, I'm glad I asked about this. Hey, Boolean, how you doing? So I got a 10 stream streak in Tim's channel yesterday. 10 streams. Question is your stream streak bigger here or there? There's this import cache and also 60 gigabytes of logs. Yeah. It's probably that there was some like null pointer exception that printed out a whole bunch of times while it was testing something. Things are going great here. We've still been making good progress. I don't think we're going to get done with this game today. And we've got another like probably 3 full work days, maybe 4 between now and when I want to do play tests. So I got to figure out what state this game is going to be in. I mean, even if this game were done, there's nothing after it for the playtest. So it's going to have to stop at some point. But I'd like there to be a definite end so that when players get to it, they're like, oh, okay, I'm done with this. It's 13 here. Take that, Tim. Of course, I'm not going to track this myself. Boolean could just be lying to me. He's telling Tim, oh, it's actually only 8 over in Adam's channel. Don't listen to that guy. Yeah, so I don't think we need this. Let's go try this out, though. So we go into Dungeon Piece, add in a knight, and put him here, I guess. Doesn't really matter. Yeah, don't tell anyone. Okay, that's not good. Switching between rooms doesn't delete the knight? Hold on a second. So if I just walk down the stairs. Oh boy, yeah. They don't get deleted. Oh man. It's kind of funny. I mean, they're not supposed to be in this section anyway, so it probably doesn't matter in the end. All right, yeah, that doesn't matter. So we can test it in here. I need them to fall. Oh, nope, that is apparently not good. They are not falling. Oh, wait, maybe it's just this room where they don't fall. I know the treasure chest doesn't either. There we go. Let's do that. Yeah, they fall. I think that's fine. I think we just leave it at that. Hey, David. And hey, Chesta. All right, so start falling can be deleted, which means we now don't need this code. All right, this is why we're diffing this. So that's all done. This is fine. I didn't test the boots thing. I don't really care about testing that right now. This, I guess, isn't needed. And it depends on how much more we test it out. Then night, I looked through briefly. There's some things I want to change about this. I'll look through it again in just a sec. The scene was fine. These are all in what, room 1? Yeah, we're not going to check in the rooms. And that's it. So I just need to check night. Okay. All right. So what do we got? What have we got? We're going to change that. Anything else with a question mark here? These things are fine. Shared sprite frame. Set that up in the scene. Yeah, nothing else is standing out as being bad here. I already fixed up some of this anyway. This doesn't need to be done this way. We could just do this and then change this to this. It's maybe slightly cleaner. Player. Yeah. All right. Yeah, I think this is all fine. Why is this here? Start dying. We turn off like everything. Sure. Although why this shouldn't be needed, right? This only happens once, so it doesn't really matter if we... Oh, wait, we do fetch this twice. But it still shouldn't matter. We use it up there for setting signals. Okay, that's fine. This, I don't understand. Don't understand why we need to change the offset here at all. What if we just didn't? How would it look? I don't think I see a difference. When they die, they face some random direction. Seemingly random direction. I think that might be messed up. Try this again. Yeah, I don't see anything weird with their offsets. Everything looks fine. And what happens when they're idle? I mean, that seems fine. Yeah, I don't see a problem. What was this code for? Because no matter what, they should be centered in the... Yeah, I'm just going to delete this. All right, there. That was it. All right, add nights. Oh, wait, don't check in this or this. Wait, no, this one we need to check in, right? Yeah, this one we need to check in. Dungeon Piece 1 we don't need to check in, and Room 1 we don't need to check in. No rooms have them yet. And they're only supposed to go into endless rooms since they don't function properly before then. They will move. If you take the stairs, they will be in the new area. Yeah, slimes are the only ones that can stay in their own room completely. All right, so these will just revert. And reload, close. That crashes Godot. All right, so what do we have? Cold asset import is 5.1 seconds. Problematic runs came from this work tree, not the current one. They hit null reference exception. Old work tree's DLL PDB was also slightly older than its source. No tracked files were changed during profiling. Automatic log rotation, remove the oldest one. Recommended next step, close the editor. Run the current work tree, delete the remaining corrupted logs. Where are those logs? Where are the logs located? Oh, darn it. This is running on high. Yeah, whatever. All right. I don't need any of these logs. So let's just delete them all. Or maybe first, let's go see ls, what, H, I think does it? Yeah, there's the 20 gigabyte one. All right, let's just delete it. Yeah, what do I care? So now Godot should start faster. I wonder what this is about the asset cache import and what I'm supposed to do about that. Like, if that can speed up running the game, that would be great. Okay, so that's whatever. But now I'm going to click play again, and it should launch pretty quickly. Ah, much nicer. Ooh, night and day. All right, yeah, what is this about the asset cache? Cold asset import. Work tree has no... Oh, it's per work tree? Oh, I don't care about that. Yeah, I just cared about the log files, I guess. Wonder if I should write this down somewhere. Godot engine. Maybe we make some like Godot and AI. Troubleshooting. Godot starts incredibly slowly. When this happened to me, it's because some AI authored change absolutely spammed the Godot logs with null reference exceptions. I simply had to delete the logs. Yeah. Which for me is located here on macOS logs are in this app user data. Did they change that? And have the .log extension. So if I go to this directory, why is it not working? Okay, maybe I was wrong about the path when I just chopped some part of it off. I should be able to go into this. That worked. What? Is there a typo somewhere? Is it this? Oh, weird. You can't put a tilde in quotation marks? Huh, okay. All right, well, anyway, going into the rest of this then. So we have Godot app user data and then everything I've ever run. So we go into stuck in a broken tutorial and do ff type log. Yeah, we just have these log. Okay, got it. Sure. Yeah, that's fine. Anything else I want to say here? 10 out of 10. Hey, TJ. Thanks for watching so much. What was that movie about Santa Claus and people stopped believing in him and he ceased to exist? Polar Express? Is that it? I say movie. It's a book, right? Children's book of the same name, yeah. Let's search for the word believe. Yes. Okay. I think it was that. Hey, noob. Anymore, yeah. The anymore part is definitely the key there. I used to, and then gave it up. Okay, so we fixed startup time. We got to go fix these things now. Slow down the hurt animation instead of giving them a delay after it's done. Yeah, I'll just copy paste all this over here. And I'll have it work locally. And on medium. Okay, when the knight gets hit in the Dungeon Racer subgame, we should no longer have an extra delay afterward where they don't do anything. Instead, make the hurt animation play out more slowly. By 0.5 seconds. Make the knights fade out after they're done playing their death animations, but before they're Q freed. And then the collision things are wrong. We got to do that. And then dying facing a random direction. I got to figure that out later too. So let's just copy this stuff out of here for now. Yeah, I'm not going to plan this or anything. We don't have any. Oh, we do have an outstanding change. I guess we need this in order for me to get a knight at all, right? No. Guess I miss the good old days. I am not a dancer. I do not ever want to dance. Also, I somehow went the first like 15 or 20 years of my life without singing, really. What an odd thing to share. And I remember I had a music theory class in college, and you have to prove that you know all the different parts of music theory that they teach. So some amount of sight reading at a piano and some amount of sight singing, and then the actual like theory test that they would do. And just singing did not come naturally. I'm not a good singer or anything, but I just never did it for some number of years of my life. That's not entirely true. I think we had to through school or something. I don't fully remember. Yeah, I did used to stand a lot more. I probably should get back in the habit of doing that. You know, if you do all the things that you should do in your life, you probably wouldn't have any time to do anything extra. I was just talking about how I went and got an eye exam, and the doctor said to follow the 20-20-20 rule of every 20 minutes, stop for 20 seconds and look at something 20 feet away to relax your eyes. And like, this is pretty tough. That's 3 times an hour. I mean, you're only spending a minute every hour. That's 1/60th of the time. It's like, yeah, you should probably be getting up and stretching. You should probably be hydrating. You should probably be whatever else, however many other things should be happening that I'm not even aware of. So out of every hour, you're spending whatever 20 minutes doing all the stuff you have to do. Am I still using the standing desk? I mean, technically, I'm still using it as in I'm sitting at it right now, but I'm not using it as a standing desk. And thanks for the resub, noob. Happy 54 months. That's 4.5 years. And hey, real Ragnar. Do you think AI is going to replace programmers or just enhance and lighten their work? I think it'll probably replace programming, yeah. Now, to say will it replace programmers, one of the ways I've kind of heard this said before is like, programmer is not a job. It's developer, and programming is part of that job. So when I think of like what is my I consider myself a game developer, which is different because you have game design, which you obviously don't have for something like web dev, but there you have web design. But anyway, game design is a pretty big part of what I still do. Then there's all the ancillary stuff like music and art. You don't really have to consider this part of the coding side of development, of course. But yeah, there's coding as well. And then there's a lot of just general, I don't know, decision making about anything. And you might call this game design, but some of it is also just business decisions, prioritization around which features you're going to code. So, yeah, lightening the workload of coding, I think, has been what AI has done for me so far. It does not mean that I have made my job easy. I've just made it easier. How are you liking Codex? I've been Claude and OpenCode lately. I like Codex. I think it's good. It took a while to grow on me. I think the biggest difference from Claude was that Codex is more generous with their quotas, and now they have no 5-hour limit, so you can just use your entire week in like 10 minutes if you wanted to. Haven't tried OpenCode yet. All right, I'm pretty sure this is done. Yeah, let's go try this out. And we don't even have this in the game anymore, so I got to put this somewhere. Maybe over here. Did I change flow control flags? I did. Okay, well. Let's go instantiate in a knight. Put you there and hit play. Feels like a buggy mess, but Fable is just so smart. Yeah, I haven't had the opportunity to try Fable. So when I hit this thing now, this is how its animation plays out. I think that's good. It gives you a little bit of time to move, but you could just keep stabbing it. Yeah. And wait, how many coins does it drop? I think it's 25. Let me just hit this a bunch of times. No, it drops 13. That is less generous than I thought I was being. I guess if you just bomb them once and they die, it's not that hard. And they're pretty easy to... Oh, I don't have bombs. They're pretty easy to do that too, right? Yeah. This isn't supposed to be the hardest game in the world. I think it's probably good in terms of difficulty. Okay, so this is done. What was the other thing that I said? Make them fade out. I did not look at that. It probably worked and it didn't seem jarring to me, so I probably noticed it, but I didn't register that I noticed it. So when they die, they should fade out. Nice. Yeah, perfect. All right, good. Hurt animation frames per second is animation frame count divided by the frame count divided by frames per second plus additional duration. Whatever, it's fine. Yeah, this is all going to get converted into sprite frames anyway. Yeah. Perfect. Yep. Great. All right, so fixed night animations. The hurt animation is much longer now and no longer incurs a delay after it. and death happens, or like death leads to fading out, not just immediately disappearing. Do a lot of red teaming on my projects. Fable always flips back to Opus because it's not allowed to find security issues. Yeah, I've heard a lot of this being annoying, and part of me wonders, like, ostensibly the reason they're doing this is so that people aren't making like whatever pipe bombs in their own places, right? And getting instructions from the AI, and then there being some news article saying like Claude led to massive deaths or something. That'd be terrible. Be terrible for a lot of reasons. But on the other end of that is like, hey, help me translate this document, and it's like, oh, sorry, I can't do that, it's copyrighted. So if you're dedicated enough, you could probably find some way to work around this or reframe the prompt, or yeah, I don't know, somehow still get the job done. And it's just more work. So it's creating a lot of friction for people who are probably trying to use it legitimately. This is one of those cases where if you knew someone's exact reasoning, then you could start to push back against it. But if you don't know the reasoning, then you start guessing it. And maybe the reason is like it's costly or something. Who knows? It makes nuts. Or just use K3. Yeah, I guess any uncensored thing would potentially work. But yeah. Okay, so this is done. This is done. This is done. We still need to do these things, and this is actually pretty big. Oh, and the dying making them face a random direction. We got to figure that out. Are knights dying facing the correct direction? All right, let's go make this change. So this I'll do in a work tree. No, we have changes. I keep doing this. I should just make rooms with knights in them because this is annoying me. I want to get that done this afternoon. We only have like 2 hours left though. Okay, so rather than create sprite frames through code in knight.cs, I want them to be created through knight.tscn. It's not called knight.tscn? Oh, I didn't put an at symbol. I also want the sword hitboxes, which are here, to be set up visually like how they're done in Dung Player. Goes to ingest 70 million research papers. Our customers were big pharma. Goes to extract specific part of the paper. We use Gemini because it has better capabilities. Often error out. Man, yeah, that does sound annoying. Yeah, I wonder, you could see it going either way in the future because people originally you would buy hardware and it was just their hardware and they could do whatever they want. Then there was this gigantic like, well, you're getting licenses to everything and you don't really own your hardware and you can only use licensed vendors for repairing it, and there's all the right to repair movement and everything. And finally John Deere gets slapped with an injunction to like allow people to repair their own tractors and whatever else. Well, like, you own your own phone, but you can't just install any random software on it. There's been a lot of battles about app stores. Yeah, so what happens if will the future get to a point where AI exists that you could use for whatever you want, but you're not allowed to use it? Or just, yeah, that's you're able to use it, you do whatever you want. I mean, right now I feel like you can just download things and use it. It's not illegal yet, at least not in the US. All right, so I think it should plan this out. And yeah, let's kick that off. All right, what else? What else? What else? What else? Sounds for the night. Let's go figure that out. Do we have any like, no, we don't. Search for attack. Do we find something? Centaur? No, this doesn't sound good. That's pretty good. That's also pretty good. It's kind of like a roar though. I don't know about that. What about this? This sounds pretty good. I like this. Yeah, let's use that one. So the knight charging and you hitting the knight. That should probably sound like you're hitting metal armor. Do we have like metal here? Sounds like you didn't do damage that way though. That's not bad. Yeah, let's use that one. All right, what else? The knight dying? No, we don't need to do that. Oh wait, no. What about you bombing the knight? Yeah, we'll still play that sound. It's okay. We don't need to get too particular about this. Is there anything else though that I want to do here? Maybe them starting their attack? What would that even sound like though? What's in here? Let's see how it feels to put that one in there. So the knight entering their second frame of the attack animation. Or how about this? Just the knight starting their attack. And then the knight charging as part of their attack after the delayed frame. Yeah, that's probably good. They can shut them off. Wow. Talking about interfacing AI creatively, I saw a post of a guy who realized that it costs fewer tokens for his LLM to analyze an image, so he encoded his prompts into an image instead. Oh man. I mean, if someone publishes that, then yeah, maybe they might try doing something about it. But if they just kept it to themselves, this is one of those like sharing good knowledge sometimes leads to bad results. What's the saying? No good deed goes unpunished. That's kind of what I feel about some of that. That's not necessarily a good deed, but same energy. Define the knight sprite frames and sword collision animations in knight.tscn, making both editable in Godot while preserving current visuals, timing, hitboxes, and combat behavior. Yeah, I don't even want the preserved hitboxes. That's the whole reason I'm doing this. I got to change those hitboxes afterwards. Make sure the knight's sword hitboxes are correct. They definitely felt off when attacking upward. Expand sprite frames resource to contain all 8 frame directional idle, blah, blah, blah. Preserve existing animation properties. Yep. Add an animation player with reset. Use animation tracks to enable sword collision. Retain for disable, that's fine. Update knight to remove texture paths, generated frame helpers. Reference to play the scene own sword hitbox animation player. Keep frame changed only for, yeah, that's the, wait a second, actually, we don't need that anymore. Yeah. Instead of keeping frame changed, use the capability of Godot's animation player to call a method in the knight.cs script. Which will start the attack charge. Existing hitbox geometry, migrate exactly, combat balance range, okay. And range the sprite render because there's requested sprite frames directly compatible. Yep, that's totally fine. Okay, so let's click next here. This should just be a tiny change to the plan. Yeah, I like this. All right, now the funny thing is it writes out the plan again from scratch, so it'll just change random things in here. So if I just select all of this, oh, you can't do that. Okay, if I select all of this. So here's the old plan. Was that at the bottom here? Becomes draggable item, use the space bar, what? And then here's the new plan. So we copy that, new plan. And then we diff the two. And yeah, they're totally different. Although it didn't copy the bullet points of the first one. But still, you can see a lot of wording change too. Anyway, so I'll just skim this new one. Yeah, I think this is fine. All right, so where are we at now? 72%. Night animations and sprite frames. Part of the reason I'm doing this is because if an average day of use results in me using, let's say, I mean, right now we're on track to use probably what, 30% maybe, or maybe 35. Yeah, if an average day means 35%, that means I could do like 3 full days of coding and then nothing extra. So this is what's making me lean toward like I should just upgrade the plan. All right. So the sounds, I want to wait until this part's done. The dying facing the correct direction, let's just go test out. And then I got to take a break soon anyway. In fact, I should probably just take the break right after testing this. So I'm facing to the right. Actually, let's do 4 hits first. There. Okay. Now, if it attacks me and I kill it, it moved downward to die. This is, I guess, why we modified the offset. I don't get why this sprite isn't just centered, though. It is centered. So what? Does that mean the images aren't centered like this? I guess they're centered, but the heights change. Man. Yeah, we might need to put that back in. Hey, Pretzel. Yeah. I may need to put the offset code back in. Did I save that? I might not have even saved that. I don't think I did. No, I saved like Spike Trap or something. Sprite sheets differ in sizes. So the knight moves when they die. Don't like that. Ideally, change offsets right in the animations themselves. What kind of parameters dash at Socrates? When you want a higher reasoning model. Okay, I'm gonna let this work. I'm gonna go take my break. It should be done by the time I get back. I don't think it's gonna be a huge change or anything. I mean, it'll look like a huge change, but it shouldn't be a big change for the AI to actually make. So is it jump time? I heard jumping. Is it jump time? It's never gonna get this. Okay, fine. Break. It's jump time. Wow, if Matt had jumped there, he would have won. Close the game. Dang, indeed. Just one little U. All right, so this did get done, and it took 2%. And now we can go try it out, right? Close the game. Is hello, close the game. What is going on with my speech recognition? What is going on with that? Something's got to be wrong. Huh, it heard it. Try one more time. Close the game. I wonder if the OBS script broke somehow. Yeah, it's definitely hearing the correct trigger phrase. Oh, maybe I launched 2 of them or something. Anyway, I'll just quit this. Hey, Tyrant King. How goes it? How's your AI thing? Did you ever replace your old model that you had? Okay, we need to go into that branch, and we need to try this out. So commit this. Just set this to A. It doesn't matter. Go over to here. For Rook, yeah. Holy moly, 1,500. 1,500 lines are coming from all of this stuff, though, because there's so many of these. And then an animation player that just picks when to do these things. Okay. Let's see. $32 gigabytes. Dormant. I see. Gotcha. Brother-in-law's father-in-law is a farmer. That's a lot of law. For him, except the tractor actually drives itself. Oh, wow. I don't know what this modern tractor technology is anymore. All right, so all the animation should be pretty much the same. They should still do all this stuff. Great, I can still hit them. Yeah, that's a problem. We got to fix that. You know any 3D modeling guys? No, not personally. I've just never needed 3D modeling. So I haven't spent a lot of time trying to network with people in the 3D modeling space. Or at least not people who are like looking for commissions or something, I guess. Yeah, so here we set the position and size of this thing. And it's just making up shapes here. Yeah, it is just making them up. Now it doesn't match with this. Oh man, I think I want to change this again because I think this is too hard to do. Yeah. Instead of using an animated sprite 2D, convert to using a sprite 2D and setting animations up through the animation player. We'll have to use something else as a reference. I search for Muppet artist. I mean, Fiverr, you could probably just post the job listing of like, I need someone to 3D model a Muppet. How dare him? Well, that's not true. But in this particular case, I just can't think of anyone doing 3D commissions. But Twitch is probably a good place to find people like that. Wonder how much of Fiverr is just AI? Yeah, probably a lot. All right, so fixing these is going to be really hard unless we can... By the way, I find that I am now repeating a lot of work that the AI probably should have done. So it kind of makes me wonder, like... Oh my God, it's not working. Kind of makes me wonder if I should be using the higher reasoning models or not. So an animation player here, we set... Yeah, just look at this. Use player.tscn as a reference for how this works. Although the animation tree should be unnecessary. Not used it for art. Well, depending on how much you need, and you can validate what they're doing, and maybe how you set up the contract is different too. So that it's like, well, they provide, one Muppet up front, and then you can gauge their work, and then see if you want to continue. Maybe something like that. All right, so we got to revert these things for now. So let's let that churn. And then adding the sounds. Let's go do that part. So we're going to copy these 3 sounds. Oh, we can't fully do this yet. I mean, I can make the sounds at least. We could copy these into the right location. Where is the right location? Game, assets, audio, sounds, Dungeon Racer, get cd, cp dot slash. Just do it that way. I guess we don't even need the current directory. All right, nice. We got 6 sound files now. Nice. All right, so add night sounds. Nothing uses these yet. All right, I can't add them yet, but I did add these. So I guess we delete this and this and this. Yeah. Noob, do try to pay attention to the no segmenting rule as much as you can. Yeah, I don't know how good making 3D models from scratch would be. I wonder if Thingiverse as a reference for these would work. You need to check the license on whatever it is you're looking at, though. A lot of art on itch has explicit disclaimers about training AI on their art. And I get it, and I'm fine. I don't need to do this, so it doesn't matter to me. But no, they don't write it on here. One of them, many of them did. I know for sure the platformer character had it. Yeah. Use of these assets for AI training or NFT conversion is strictly prohibited. I don't know how many people are still getting assets for the sake of NFTs. And no worries, Noob. Yeah. Okay, what else? The dying thing, the offsets. And this is finished, I believe. Yeah. This is done too. Skeleton animations. Yeah, I want to add those new. I want to add more rooms. We need. No, I don't really need the knife for this. I guess we can just start adding them. Is it worth even waiting for this? Probably not, unless it's almost done. Oh, it's done. Okay, oh, that was nice. All right, let's check it out. So commit. All right, let's try it. It should look the same. That's our first test. And then we need to go inspect the individual collision hitboxes. Yeah. Oh, that caused an error. Can't change this state while flushing queries. Yeah, how nice. So is it the same thing in both places? Try, take, hit, start, hurt, play animation, stop animation, and disable sword. All right. Yeah. Fix these errors. This is with trying to run this right from the main thread when there's another like animation that's finishing or playing out. Hey, Vibepuff. It's going pretty well. Yeah. You know, it feels like I wasn't very productive today, but when I look at everything that got done, like let's just cover a couple of these things. So for one, we added knights to the game. They've got a charge animation and a hurt animation. And they die in one hit to a bomb. We added the inventory screen, which when you have nothing is not all that interesting. But like now we have bombs there and you can see what they do. And this looks great. And if we, well, I guess I can just grant myself the other ones. Yeah, you can see the other items you can get here. We added skeletons, although I don't have a room that uses them yet. We're about to add that. And those are those are 3 decently sized features. Yeah. And I feel like I changed something else too, but I don't remember at this point. Look at that. Turbo speed. Now we're intangible as we dash. My goodness. Sonic the Hedgehog has nothing on me. Take that. It's gonna make so many people dizzy when they play the game. I know there are little bugs that are happening right now. With the room seams. Yeah, this is great. Hey, Jingtron. Yeah, progress has been really good here. System pseudo hangs, mouse moves. Is it a graphics driver issue? A bit more interesting pre-AI. Yeah, because I've been using it more and more too. Okay, so the animations are fine. Hopefully this fixed the bug. And now let's go look at the collisions. Like I said, main goal for the rest of this day, if I don't get anything else done but this, would be great, is add like 3 to 5 more rooms. Rooms are dead simple to add. So this is mostly getting through all the other stuff to be able to add those rooms, which is the night animations right now. So let's take a look. This is already set correctly. Okay, so now we have all the animations. Now, here is where this gets very interesting, because now we, as humans, can very easily line up the hitboxes with the sword. And you can see how wrong they are. Now, in practice, it doesn't matter too much. This is a few pixels away from the sword in both directions. You're still going to probably be in that general vicinity when you get hit, but it looks stupid. So let's change this to over here and turn off pixel snapping. Yeah, this will be a lot better. So we want to set the position and the size. Where's the size? Here's position. No, here's size. And position is there. Yeah. So we got to do that for both of these, for pretty much every frame. No shortcuts here. Size and position. And then I think this is supposed to be identical, but whatever. I'm still just going to do all this by hand. Now it gets a little bit larger, like it's slashing. Yeah, this will be tedious. No two ways about it. Would have been nice if the AI could correctly identify this. And maybe on a higher reasoning model it could have. Should we count this little, whatever that is, air around the sword as like doing damage to you? I think we should. I'm going to just do it. That's our policy. You can now be hurt by oxygen in the game. And the final frame of animation number 1. Now we have animations 2 through 4, but then that's it. Building shader tech for space is so cool though. Yeah, it sounds really cool. I played some game. Oh, right. It was Subnautica 2. I played Subnautica 2 the other day for the first time, and it said compiling 8,000 shaders. I'm like, wow, that's quite a lot. But yeah, stuff looks pretty good in that game. I am not a fan of survival games. I just realized they all feel the same to me. And it's sort of like factory games in that sense, that they feel like it's just like doing work. And I don't think I'm just playing them wrong. I think Ark was the biggest offender, the dinosaur game. God, it felt like you played for 2 hours to be able to have fun for 5 minutes. And then my friend and I discovered that you can tweak all the settings. And then it became a little bit better. Oh man. All right. Well, we're about halfway done. It's not as bad on left and right because the AI did a pretty good job there. It's probably going to be more obnoxious for up and down. These don't need to line up perfectly anyway. Like I said, this is just one enemy in a game where you can't die. It's not really such a big deal. Okay, we have 2 more frames here. Yep, that's fine. And the final one for this. And then we just have one more animation, which is probably a little harder than this one was. This one's not bad. I guess the sword technically extends over to here. There we go. All right, 4 more frames, then we're finished. I wouldn't have noticed this stuff if I hadn't had the night below me and tried to do this. So we should probably modify agents.md. Also modify it to say that whenever trying to synchronize an animation with a region, collision shape, to only modify the shape and to use an animation player rather than set up the frames through code. In fact, we should probably simplify this to just say to make sprite frames through scenes rather than code. We're slandering Factorio. No. All survival games. We are not discriminating here. I think it's genre fatigue for me. But yes, any chance I can get to say that factory games feel like work, I will take. Like, imagine if there was a game, you know what? I should do this just as a joke. I should make like sprite frame setup simulator. And it's just this. It's like draw rectangles around the sprites. Someone would probably play it. They play power washing simulator. There's some train simulator game that's got DLC for like $7,000. Is it this? It's this, I think. Oh, I don't know if this is a joke. Yeah, browse all. 790 pieces of content. Is there a way to see the price for every single one of them? All together? Can you buy them all at once? All right, I don't know how you can check that. But yeah, like let's say you click this one. This is... Oh, there's no bundle price for this either? Oh, okay. I don't know where you're supposed to see this then. Well, anyway, you can see individual prices are like $8, $20. And they got, what, 700 of these things? So they're probably making a lot of money. So I believe the animation should now be fixed. And let's go try this out again. Oh, wait. The bug would not have been fixed, though, because that was done in a separate branch. Unless I pulled that in. I don't remember doing that. No, I did not pull that in. So there should be a lot of deleted code over here, right? Oh, yeah. Yep. Now this I don't understand. Why is this blue? I made red the deletion color, but this isn't there anymore, right? Sword hitbox. Yeah, like this is deleted. This is... Oh, I guess it thinks that it changed into just this one line. Okay, that's fine. Yeah, this is so much better. So much better. Not to mention we got rid of like 200 lines of code. Great. Put Knight's sprite frames into the scene. It's just too unwieldy to manage through code. The sword hitboxes were all wrong, but it was... I fixed them through the editor without the sprite frames existing there. It would have been a gigantic pain. All right, now we get this change, which is apparently just 2 lines, which is to call keep state true in these 2 spots. Well, let's hope that we do this correctly then, huh? We should have 2 lines changed. Merge conflict. Oh, because of already having pulled in that branch. Okay, fine. Let's just revert this. And let's go into that branch. Over here. And do get log -1. And then cherry pick this. Thief. And then this should be 2 lines of code, right? Yeah, nice. Okay, does that fix it? Error Kazaki. Train enthusiasts don't mess around. All right, so when we hit this thing now, you probably shouldn't be able to hit it while it's attacking you. Yeah, it doesn't cause a problem anymore. All right, so fix... What is this? Fix errors. There were this kind of errors. All right, done with that. Now add sounds for the night. Let's go do that next. Then we can make these rooms, I think. I guess we can make the rooms anyway. What was I about to do? Oh, close the game. All right, there we go. All right, so add sounds for the knights in the Dungeon Racer sub game. Set this to that. Actually, just work locally. This shouldn't take very long. Okay, so the knights starting their attack. Thrust 2.wave. The knight charging is humanoid attack. Humanoid attack. And then when the player hits the knight, metal light. It's when they hit it with a sword. With a sword. Should it even play a sound when you hit him with the bomb? I'll just say or bomb, sure. When the knight charges as part of their attack and when the knight starts their attack animation. Okay, easy. Yeah. This we'll look at later. So I wanted to add this and we need to test out skeleton animations. So add 5 to 10 more rooms, one with breakable walls. We don't have the concept of breakable walls, so we need to add them. It's just an immovable obstacle that when you break needs to play some particle system of like breaking rocks. Let's hold off on that one for now. It's just for now. Yeah. So skeletons, knights. The knights should kind of trap you in a maze-ish sort of thing while still letting you move fast enough. I don't know how we're going to do that. Forks in them, mini slime puzzle. All right, well, let's start with these. Is this done yet? Yep, it's done. Well, let's listen to our new sounds. Oh, that's pretty good. That's great. Yeah, I think that's really great. So they're all being pitch shifted, right? Yes, 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 yes. And then were the volume levels pretty good? They felt good. Let's try again. Where is that? Attack. This should only go up to 1. Which means it gets deleted. Yeah, because I think it sounds better when it's a lower pitch. And then charge and getting hit. Yeah, let's listen to those. I shouldn't keep closing the game. This is so great. Yeah. Nice. Oh, I need bombs. That's pretty good. Yeah, it's very satisfying. Yeah, very cool. Expert player right here, getting hit by every slime. This is a very fun game. There are some tweaks I need to make. I think we got to make slimes easier to kill in the like above ground section. Because if you mess up that room or don't realize what's going on, you need to kill way more slimes just to kind of fix it. Also think I want the max speed to be even faster, or for coins to take longer to get. I mean, I've played this game a lot now. I need to remind myself that new players will not be running through this as fast. Oh, we got the second boots. Nice. Oh. Walked right into that one. Could have been a mega bomb. Oops. Nope. I was just talking about how I played this game way too much. Getting hit by everything. Ooh, we can damage him now. Yeah, so I want to add in some characters. I don't know what I'm doing. I was testing sounds and I got carried away. What is this? Audio system. We now initialize it. Sounds good. Yep. Wait, what about... This is pointless. This is absolutely pointless. What is it doing here? This only... Is something else listening for this? Seriously? Huh. Why is this being done if the audio system's right there? Yeah, weird. Well, I'm deleting this. All right, what is it? Hit taken. So now that should be gray up here. Cool. Top dungeon speedrunner. I probably wouldn't be. That's the thing. And I don't think any of my games will ever become popular with speedrunners, but if they did, I can almost guarantee it will not be me who's the fastest at anything. Because speedrunners are nuts. They're just nuts. Okay, that's fine. I always thought it'd be cool someday to do speedrunning as a hobby, but in my mind, speedrunning and piano performance are pretty similar. And I think I would appreciate the output of piano performance more. And I already feel kind of the same way I would with speedrunning, which is like you perform something, maybe it sounds great, maybe it brings you some joy as you're doing it. But then once you performed it, it's like, well, unless you're a professional, you're probably not going to just keep performing it every week of your life. So you make a video or something out of it and, you know, come back and play it worse in the future at some point. And I know what that feeling is. I just don't necessarily want to chase that. Basically glitch hunting a lot. It seems like bug abuse to me. It's definitely not easy. That's part of it, but like with any speedrun, I'd say there's like routing and strategy, and then there's the execution of it. And I think of speedrunners as just the execution part necessarily. I think of this as being part of speedrunning, but anyone could do it. It's sort of like if you're playing, I don't know, Magic the Gathering. Like coming up with a deck is a skill, but it's a skill you literally can avoid completely if you want to play the game. You could just use decks other people create. Then piloting the deck is another skill, and if you want to play the game, you need that skill. So I think it's the same with speedrunning. It's like there's planning, there's execution. The execution is still crazy. And to get to that level of execution for a game that takes like an hour, and you have all these like pixel perfect moves you have to do, and you have to have backup strategies, and I don't know, keep your mentality crystal clear the whole way. You have a 2-second time loss and it doesn't just throw you off your game. Your heart's probably pounding at the end of the run. You're like, oh my God, oh my God, oh my God, world record pace. So I would not be able to do this. All right, it's new room time. So I want a room that features skeletons. So let's go to dungeon piece. What's the last one we did? 7. Yeah, this one is pretty large. I don't want to just be making large rooms here. Skeletons throw bones at you from far away. We probably want you to be able to approach them to kill them. They should probably be guarding a bunch of treasure. By treasure, I mean coins. And maybe they have like a wall on either side to stop you from just dashing through them all. So what's a more appropriately sized room for this? Dungeon piece 5. This one's pretty good. Okay, let's save this as dungeon piece 8. And instead of zombies, we're going to throw in some skeletons. All right, so I want, you know what, how about this? Let's just make it, let's make the room in sort of like a little bit of a wave almost. Or maybe, how do I want this to work? I don't know, but we got to turn on some snapping at some point. All right, let's just throw some of these into a room. And I want a wall here to stop you from just dashing into all of them, and maybe here too. Hopefully that doesn't stop the bones that they throw. And then I want a bunch of coins in front of them. Although you just dash in front of them, right? But that's probably fine. And we could put a coin. Well, we can't really do that, I guess. Probably pretty good. Hey, Devato Ali. I don't know how you want your name pronounced. Do let me know. The project itself is here. Yeah, assets. I've got. Yeah, I guess this is already pretty clear about what I'm using at any given time. This particular set of assets comes from here. Deva. If it's a yeah, let me know. I can write it down. Pronunciations. Yeah, welcome into the stream. I'll say Deva unless you tell me otherwise. I'm gonna assume it's an Indian-based name. Okay, so now we get rid of the floor from over here. And I guess this too. And I guess all the walls. I want the room to curve up a little bit. So we're going to draw, well, I guess there needs to be a wall here. All right, there we go. Now delete any floor out from under this and this. There's a spike trap. I don't really, should we put in a spike trap? Maybe put one here and one just below it. Then the vases have no reason to exist. And we probably trim out these walls, right? Maybe put them like that and delete this. It's a very peculiar room. There's also no boost pads. Well, there are boost pads, but I guess I just didn't really position them in a smart way. We could put them over here so that if you want to, you could try to dash through the spikes. And one right there. Yeah, that's pretty decent. I like that. Now there's floor missing from this. There's extra floor here and here. And now I think everything's pretty clean. Well, there's floor under the walls. I don't like to do that, but we'll probably clean that up later. Okay, great. So there's this scene. We just need to set the exit point now. This just moves up to here. And then -8. Whoops, wrong axis. -8. There we go. All right, cool. So there's our first skeleton room. Let's go try it out in the game. Now there's a 1/8 chance of finding it. Let's get myself some upgrades here. Not to take as long trying to get to it. It's totally random, so we might not find it for a while. Here it is. Okay, this is a harder room than I thought. Yeah. this is maybe a little too challenging. Those are angry skeletons. What should we do? Maybe cut it down by like 2 skeletons? I want to find that room again. Here it is. So if you do have dash, and you can ram into... Oh, I don't have the ramming ability. Yeah, this is it's like impossible right now. And yeah, the bones are hitting the wall. Yeah, I think it's a pretty neat game. All right, we got to cut out some skeletons. We can't have 3 of them. Or maybe we space them out like way more. Maybe even just having 2 of them is good enough. And then instead of having 4 blue coins, we could move them a little bit. Maybe like that. Make this one blue, make these green. And this one can be blue as well. Okay, that's probably better. All right, now let's go make a room with a knight. Dungeon piece 9. Oh, I haven't been renaming these. It doesn't really matter. Dungeon piece 9. Okay. Play this as a quick game between my day work. Yeah, this is part of a game called Stuck in a Broken Tutorial. So this is one sub game, and I expect it to probably last like 5 to 10 minutes, this particular one. And then it's you'll just never go back to it again. But yeah, maybe people would want this as a standalone game. Maybe we have some way of returning to it somehow, or ramping up the difficulty, or going to like the lava dungeon. This is stuff we'll have to figure out over the next year and a half or so. All right, so we don't want skeletons anymore. We want there to be knights. What if they had sunglasses? They'd be too cool for school. You can't do that. That's illegal. All right, so knights are pretty beefy, but you can kill them with a bomb. What room would show off the knight's abilities the most? I think if they're... Okay, I have an idea. An idea for how we can lay out a room like this. So let's delete all this. Let's add in some floor. If we make a little wall segment in the middle here, that's like this maybe, and then put a very valuable coin. Whoops. Put a very valuable coin right in the middle. Yellow is worth 10. Yellow's worth 10, yeah. So we put a yellow coin there, and then surround this thing with knights, I guess. Maybe we try to set it up so that you can kill them all in one hit with a bomb. This might be too much. All right, what should the rest of the room look like? Do knights take damage from spikes? I don't even know if I made that happen. Let's just try it. Let's find out. This room is not set up correctly yet. Oh, I gotta turn this off. Flow control flags. True. There. Now it'll put us right into endless mode. And that means that we can hopefully get to this room a little bit faster. We want to test them both out. Did I make the skeleton room easier? Is it too easy? Here we go. Okay, this is much better now. Oh, oh my god. I think I got out of bounds. Okay, these things are brutal. Yeah, they just disappear, so that is broken. I don't know how that happened, that got out of bounds. But it is after me. So can knights get hurt by spikes and skeletons have the wrong death animation? So once you have dashing, this... Oh, it's still bad. Okay. Yes, 2 skeletons is the maximum this room should have. That is brutal. But now I can dash through them. Okay, so can they get hurt by these? No, they cannot. Should they be hurt through that? Oh my god. They might drop too many coins. Okay, so now that skeleton room would be easier because we can just run through them. Blam. Oh, wait, it didn't hurt them. It didn't hurt them indeed. Okay, we got a couple of bugs then. Skeletons should fade. Well, skeletons should stay in their final frame of their death animation for 2 seconds before fading away and being Q freed. What else? What else? What else? You can't dash through skeletons to hurt them. That's not intentional. We can't just say, oh, yeah, that's how it should be. And yeah, knights probably shouldn't drop as many coins, especially if you can kill them so easily. Maybe we have a room with a mix of enemies then. Maybe there are like 2 knights here. That might be enough. And maybe they're staggered a little bit. Yeah, that'd probably be better. Like we put them on the boundaries of the room. So they're just in range of that coin. Like here and here. And maybe one down below. I want to invert this triangle though. Wait, do I? No, I don't want to invert this triangle. I want to paint walls differently. You should probably put some bases in this room. I kind of want to shape this like a skull, but I can't draw. hmm. All right, what is going on here? Am I in the wrong? Did I paint something in the wrong layer? No. All right, put this here, put that there. Then flood fill this as soon as I figure out what the button is for that B. Oops. Okay. I want some vases in this room. Vase. Oh, I guess they block the night. I need to test this room out too. And then spike traps don't have any place here. That's fine. The other coins we can probably put here and here. Oh, that would help with coin magnet, right? And then maybe some green ones like that. And we could put a dash pad facing down. That'd be kind of trolly, I think. Maybe we put one here facing down. Yeah, that is kind of trolly. We'll try that out. Okay. All right, next up, dungeon piece 10. We're going to have a mixture of enemies in this one. So let's just start a little bit from scratch here. So I'm not too influenced by what was there. So what do I want for this? I want there to be maybe a little bit of every kind of enemy, but maybe not too much actual danger. Like you can just go through the middle of the room and coins are on the outside of the room, maybe. Yeah, that could work. Let's do it this way. Hmm. I don't know what I want to do for this. Actually, maybe we make the branching path room. It would all need to connect to the same spot at the end anyway. So like maybe over here. Yeah. And then we make another route. I'm just going to roughly sketch this out. Like this is kind of what I'm thinking. And maybe there are a bunch of coins here, and you can get them with a coin magnet if you see them. And they can all just be green coins. Green, 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 green. Yeah, all of them can be green. All right, there we go. Now some slimes. So we'll put one slime here. Edible children. And you patrol like that. And another slime here. And you patrol like that. And a knight standing there. Now they can see you through walls, so this thing actually could chase you. In fact, you know what if we put it like there? And then they see you. I don't know. Maybe that's good enough. Yeah, that might be good enough. Do skeleton bones hit vases? Can they break vases for you? That'd be kind of interesting. Can you make another actor that has a square bounding box? You mean like the detection area? Because yeah, we could do that. I could also make this customizable so they could just like see straight through the wall. All right, so we don't need this many other knights here. But I kind of want to put a skeleton over here on this path. And do we want any boost pads? Maybe just to signal that you could go in either direction. And I put a skeleton up here. No, I don't want to do that. I don't think so, at least. All right, floor. Whoop, that does not work because we need to put the boundary up here. There we go. Hey, Deaf House. Welcome back. I don't know if this is Ashley or somebody else, but hello and thank you for the raid. We are making rooms in... What just happened? Huh, that's weird. We're making rooms in... Let me give you a shout out. Hammer Cravers. We're making rooms in this Dungeon Racer game. What happened to the wall here, though? I don't understand. And Hamster Hammer, thank you too for the raid. Welcome in, both of you. I don't think I can give another shout out this soon. No, I have to wait 2 minutes. Yeah. I don't think I've seen you before, though, Hamster Hammer. How are both your streams? Let me take a quick look at Twitch. Oh, you're still streaming. Pixel art game dev stream side project. Neat. I only see one sprite on the screen right now, but it looks better than what I can do. Yeah, how's it going? I just made some new enemies for this game. I'll show it in just a second. I just don't understand, why does painting this... Oh, now it worked correctly. Huh, weird. Yeah, it hadn't worked before that. And then this is just dark. Oh, I'm painting in the wall tile. Oops, 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 oops. Yeah, whoops. This is what I meant to do. Yeah, unfortunately, it gets rid of the walls here. Probably means that we have Y sorting enabled on one thing, but not the other. Or that, yeah, I think it's just that. Yeah, there we go. Okay, that's fixed. All right, now we need the exit point set, and then I can show what this game is about. -8. This room is very bare. We need something else in it before I continue. Let's add a zombie over here. Yeah, that's probably good. All right, let's just try that. Writing animation notes for our characters so our animators have some notes to work from. Oh, nice. Yeah, I got to check out the game you're working on. Actually, both of you. Stream's good. Did some code fixing to my Steam demo. Oh, do you want to link it here? Feel free to. So I'm making a game called Stuck in a Broken Tutorial. It is a collection of different games, all of which are tutorials for games, actually, and you're trapped in them and you need to get out. So let's show the very beginning of this. You'll customize your character, and then you'll be dropped into a platformer here where, yeah, there's tutorial text, press A to jump. A lot of this was inspired by something pretty negative, which is that journalist playing Cuphead and just failing to get through the first part of the game. So, yeah, in this game, a lot of the games will just seem like they're regular games. Like, you get to this, and you're like, oh, okay, let me think of how I'll do this. I'll jump, I'll dash, I'll jump, I'll dash. But yeah, then you encounter the brokenness of this game. That's how my demo playtesting went. Oh, like the journalist? Yeah, you learn quite a lot doing playtesting, especially watching people play. Alright, so here is our portal to another game, basically. So that was the first game. It's just the intro to the world, basically. And now we expand on it a little bit more in the second game. This is a farming game, except there's really no point to farming unless you're going to be playing the game forever. So most of what you do here is pointless. But yeah, you can still like plant seeds and dig things up. And yeah, so anyway, the game that we're working on as of late has been this game. This is more like a Zelda game. That thing's not supposed to be there. And you work your way through this dungeon, going down to different floors. We probably should play louder sounds for that. And then you eventually make it to this room where you bomb a wall, but the wall doesn't break. The entire dungeon breaks. And now you're in a totally different kind of game almost. And you have to like run to the side. So we are trying to create rooms for this particular sub game. I think that room is too difficult still. No. Oh, this is the new room. And yeah, zombies are chasing us from the prior room. So if we go this way, that knight should detect me. Yeah, it's running around to try to get me. I don't have coin magnets, so I can't get these. And if I run around the right wall, I don't think that zombie... No, it does. All right. Well, that's too bad. I should get a treasure chest pretty soon. Wait for the spikes this time. All right, there's our first treasure chest. I want to see that skeleton room again. Oh, what? Another treasure chest? That shouldn't be there that soon. That's not right. I think I know what caused that. Okay, so you can kill the first one, but then you just die to the second one. So I think just going through the spikes is the best way. All right, can we nab these now? Yeah. So, kind of cool. Learn I need to keep my mouth shut while watching the playtest. Yeah, I'm almost entirely silent during playtests unless I need to ask a question. Every once in a while, I'll be like, all right, what are you thinking about? You've been silent for a while. And they're just like, I'm having fun. Or, yeah, I'm confused by something. Yeah, tons of gamer homage. Oh, yeah, it's very fun. Here's the Steam page. Let's see it. Yeah, I'm mostly a coder. I don't do any artwork, but I do music as well. Yeah, this looks very cool. The UI, of course, reminds me of Zelda. This is very Zelda inspired. The game probably does too, but the graphics specifically, I mean, this also reminds me of Zelda, and this part does. I'm guessing that's what you're going for here with the art style. Play as a young hero in a retro pixel top-down adventure. Explore the land of Ethereal. Find secrets, conquer dark dungeons, and collect shards to restore the Ethereal pendant to defeat the Pirate King. Possibly Ethereal, I'm not sure. But yeah, cool. Cool. Oh, wow, and you're releasing pretty soon. Yeah. You said fixing the Steam demo, as in you're going to put the demo on Steam before this. Are you participating in the Next Fest? Because there's one that's in October, I believe. And I highly recommend participating in Next Fest if you can. And always picking the latest one that you can find, so that your game's as good as it can be, considering it. Yeah, if you have a demo, being in Next Fest is just like clicking a button, basically. So yeah, that's not too bad. But it is still a lot of work just to, I don't know, like Steam has changed how Next Fest has worked, so that the first 2 days they're just kind of randomly giving traffic to each game so they can figure out which ones do well. That way there's more of an even chance because of how many hundreds of games join Next Fest. But then after that, if your game didn't do well those first couple days, it won't do well in the rest of Next Fest. There are just so many demos. And a lot of people, knowing that there are so many demos, just wait for like the standout ones that media outlets cover. So yeah, it can be a little bit of a challenge. But that's awesome. Thank you for sharing, and good luck. By the way, DevHouse, if you want to share a Steam link or anything too, feel free. So I think the room is bare on top here. And I think if you're going to go through this direction, we should put at least one more boost pad up here. Oh, I also got to fix that bug with generating treasure. Bug, I saw 2 treasure rooms, maybe like 3 rooms apart. I assume this has to do with generating a new treasure room while the current one hasn't been reached. We should reset the cumulative count as soon as we generate a treasure room. No Steam page yet. Okay, yeah. I don't know if I asked you this last time. Sorry if I did. Hey, Prof. Was it different in the past with Next Fest? Yeah, it used to just be a free-for-all. Like, Valve wouldn't do anything different. They just put something on their page and the best games would show up, pretty much. And if you only have, let's say, 100 games, I mean, yeah, it's probably too much for one person to go through, but it's not too much for, you know, the platformer people to find the platforming games and the horror people to find the horror games. Game dev is brutal now. So many games. I wonder how different it is from the past when there were fewer players. Yeah. Both of those categories have grown, game devs and gamers. But I also think there are a lot of sticky games like League of Legends. How many people have, you know, more than 5,000 hours in League of Legends? And I'm not really looking for an answer there. I'm just saying, like, that means that those people played the game for 5,000 hours. They weren't playing another game during that time, probably. I don't think you can really multitask while you're playing that game, but you probably could while you're waiting for a lobby to pop or something. Hey, why are you calling me out? And yeah, sure, DevHouse. Played 20% of what was out there. Yeah. Yeah, it's too much to get through in a week. I mean, it always reminds me of that YouTube stat where it's like every minute on YouTube, some ludicrous number of hours of video are created. So how many videos would you have to watch concurrently to be able to say that you watched every YouTube video, now that you could take it in? But probably like, 500 at a time. Probably more than that. Crazy. Becomes more difficult if players to games ratio is similar. Yeah, the other thing too is it's changing gamer expectations. The last game I made was called Skeleseller, and I think this game is well done. I'm not just saying that because I made it. I put a lot of heart and soul into it, and people generally like it. The problem is a lot of people are like, I want more of it. And I did not make this game to be an infinitely replayable game. I made it to be a fun, like, nighttime game for you to play, or you play it through one weekend pretty much. You probably don't come back to it, but you're like, yeah, that was fun. That was cool. But yeah, people just keep expecting like more and more out of this stuff. And I'm making a very similar game now. It's like by the time I'm done with this, it will have taken probably 2 years. maybe longer, and I'll probably have 3 hours of gameplay or something. It's like, yeah, no shortage of effort will have gone into this. This game list will be huge by the end of this. And yeah, each individual one is hopefully fun enough and there's something to do and some like gimmick or funny twist that's there. And if people are just like, oh, I really want to play this game more, and it's like, well, it wasn't designed like that. So yeah, expectations are changing. The market is being flooded. It's also easier than ever to get into game dev. AI's made it even easier than that. And in fact, Hamster not knowing how to code is almost not even that bad nowadays. Although I think you still need some coding knowledge to guide AI. But who knows? Maybe eventually it's just like, I want this feature. It goes and makes the feature. It's as good as human would have done it. And it's just one thing less for people to have to learn or do. But yeah. Usually have something running in the background. Just play the casual game modes. Is there a lot of dead time in the game? I've never actually played League of Legends. I don't tend to like games with a lot of time where you can't do anything. Like I do play the finals and there's a game mode there where if your team dies, you're out of the game for like 30 seconds. That's a long time for an FPS that you're just sitting there doing nothing. But 30 seconds isn't long enough to like play another game, I think. Yeah. Thanks, LaProf. Yeah, okay. I am starting to lose some steam here, that's for sure. I mean, we have streamed for a pretty long time today, and I got done with most of the stuff I wanted to get done with. I'm still not super happy with this particular room. Also, you boost right into a zombie. Maybe we should put the zombie slightly farther to the side, or the boost pad slightly lowered down. I don't think it's going to help you avoid the zombie. Maybe it would. Or we could put a wall right here. I don't even know if that'll help. Yeah, I don't know what I'm doing. I don't know what the goal is with this room. Let's put a blue coin here. And it's okay to have some experimental rooms. There's really nothing along the bottom of this at all, though. So if we do anything, we should probably put some boost pads there. This should probably be moved by 8 pixels downward. Yeah. And then we'll just drag this over there, which we can't actually do because of the snapping that we have. There we go. And do we even want one more? Okay, hang on. I'm gonna try to steer people more into where that knight is. So we're gonna carve this out and do that. And then probably place some vases over here. Where are the vases right now? I don't even see them. Oh, there they are. Oh, I just left them there. All right, I'll put a few over here. And I feel like one more boost pad. Otherwise, it's just kind of a jerky move here. This one faces up and is 8 pixels farther to the right. Yeah, that's pretty good. All right, now for laughs, let's paint in some extra little damaged looking tiles. That way it's not just static. Some of these. I'm doing a great job. And maybe a couple of those. Yeah, that's pretty good. All right, so we added 3 rooms here. I want to play through this one more time. But then, yeah, like I said, I'm starting to lose some steam here. Tomorrow is Thursday, which means it's music day. How long have I streamed for today? Oh, we've already hit 6 hours. No wonder I'm losing steam. No wonder, I say, not knowing that ahead of time. All right. So yeah, this room, we just avoid the skeletons. I've learned my lesson. They're too hard until you have the dash. We gotta separate out the shadow there. Woo! Forgot what they do. Okay. So yeah, if you have fought these things before. Oh my god. Alright, it just fell off the edge. Yeah, that room is a little bit nerve-wracking. Gotcha. Alright, this is the new room. So we take this path. One zombie chases us. Oh, and the knight did too. I can just outrun it. Whoops. Oops, oops, oops. Oh god. Make it stop. Alright, coin magnet. We got this cool new inventory, by the way. Just showing that off now. So this is, wow. Alright, this is the perfect room now. The 2 skeleton way really works. Because if you try to hit the first one, as I've done many times now, you get hit. Alright, now I've got the dash boots. Okay, once you have dashing, you can... Well, I still got hit. You can work around them a little bit better. There we go. Not really worth going out of your way for a single coin, I guess. Yeah, we probably need another, like, 5 rooms on top of what we have. Maybe we do some more small rooms. Ooh, gold boots. We've gained ramming powers. You move so fast when you do that. My goodness. Yeah, this is feeling pretty good. Maybe I do want the knights to wander. Yeah, the dash kind of trivializes the game. You could make them come back slower. Oh, now I can kill them in 2 hits. Maybe we should just increase the difficulty of the rooms. Like, we mark them easy or difficult. And we stop giving you easy rooms after you've gotten this many upgrades. Then again, part of the reason I did this is so that the players who are struggling will still be able to make it through the game. Like, we're almost at the max coin count, which is 500. This is really cool. Oh. Want these bases. No coin is safe. Wow, yeah, you really go moving faster. Now let's replenish. Yeah, feeling good. Okay, cool. Very cool. Whew. All right, let's check in what I've done. Add 3 more rooms. I also made it automatically go into endless mode again. Let's fill out the journal. Let's copy how much of this I use. I'm down to 68%. So I used 26% in one day, which would mean if we had 4 days like this in a week, that we'd be fine on the $20 plan. I do wonder about increasing that. I should just try it 1 month. Just pay $100. In fact, I should figure out when that's going to be. I don't know how they do upgrades mid-month. Do they prorate it or something? Look into how upgrading my Codex plan would work. Do they prorate it? I kind of want to see what it would be like to have a much higher quota. What would I use it for? Would I benefit at all? Would I want to seek out cheaper models to replace some of whatever I end up using? Yeah, those are the things I'm concerned about. Okay, so pretty productive day. Let's look through ye old commits and figure out what we did, because I don't remember. Isn't there a way to see... Where is this? And I can just do get log from the terminal, but I wonder if this view is any better. Oh no, those actually show up there? Oh, those are the branches off of this. All right, today, skeleton inventory. So skeletons, inventory, night, and some more rooms. That's pretty much it. Well, it felt like a lot. Yeah. Added skeletons, knights, an inventory screen, and some more rooms to the dungeon racer. Yeah, it's pretty hard to estimate. I've kind of talked about this before, that it'd be cool if I could somehow like branch myself off into 2 different parts. One who performs all the work I was just doing without AI, and one who uses AI, and see what the trade-offs would be exactly. The last game was almost no agentic AI usage, and this game is lots of agentic AI. So in that sense, you can kind of consider it a branching path. And I feel like I'm making progress very rapidly now. But then I look at a day like today and I'm like, okay, skeletons, knights, like what would it have taken me to do this myself? And it would have been a lot of busy work. I don't even think the work is the problem. I think I would have just gone nuts. Like, look at all these animations in here. Attack, down, left, right, up, death, hurt, idle, run. And then all of these have frame data in them. And the attack ones also have collision boxes that need to be set. And I did some of this manually, but not all of it. And yeah, I think it just would have been tedious. Did it do all of that? Not all of it, no. But like I told it where the spreadsheets were, and then it set this stuff up. It actually did it through code, and then I was like, no, turn it into a scene so that I can manually position where the sword is. You want some small minor feature and it all breaks? Yeah, and it depends on, like, if it truly is a small minor feature, you could always just come back to it later. Honestly, actually, that's probably a decent strategy, is come back in like 6 months and maybe just AI's gotten better. Maybe you come up with a better prompt that day. I don't know. It's kind of true even if you're doing the work as a human. that just coming back to it sometimes is the best possible solution. I know I've had really, really difficult problems and I've sometimes waited 3-4 days and then I tackle it again and I'm like, this was so simple. Like, why didn't I see this? Sometimes it's just sleep related. I was using Grok, just sub to Claude. One small project test, use 50% of my tokens. Yeah, I will say this is something that's nice about Codex is that even on the highest models, the usage is more generous, I'd say, than Claude is. So, and I'm still torn on exactly how I want to use this, but I was using it on extra high for most of last week. Now I'm using it on medium. I think it's pretty good. I was still using high to plan some things and high for some of the more important implementations. But if I was like, hey, go add in these sound effects, like, yeah, this is a very medium task. Make some questionable decisions when designing. Yeah, I leave game design as a no AI realm. Same thing with music. There's like no AI usage there for me because I want to learn those skills. But coding, I've coded so much and I don't need to code anymore. That's how I look at it now. I don't mind reviewing this stuff. Hey, fool. So strange to say, hey, fool. Even fool box, I don't call fool. All right, so the last big question I have here is how many characters did we end up deleting from the list? I mean, probably not much. I think I added more than I deleted. Yeah, we added another 1,500. Such is life. Such is life. All right, so by Thursday, finished most of the Dungeon Racer work. It's okay if I haven't finished the second audio track. Yeah, so by the end of today, well, maybe we just change it to tomorrow. Probably work on more Dungeon Racer stuff. Just hammer out whatever I can. Does it make me feel less in control? I get that feeling that I'm losing my grip on projects. I don't think so. I feel like I'm still reviewing everything, so I still get an idea of like what's happening and where, what patterns is it using. And because I've already done 2D game dev very similar to this just before this, I have an idea of like, okay, what are the best ways of going about it? And I will say AI inadvertently taught me a bunch of things. I didn't know, for example, that there's a node called Marker 2D. It's just a node that has a slightly different little like flare at the edge. Why do I not see the little flare thing? Oh, because it's on top of the other thing. There we go. Yeah. So it's just a node that has these lines, which I'll zoom in case they're too thin for people to see. But yeah, that's it. That's a Marker 2D. Just a node with some extra lines on it. Didn't know that existed. I think it's clearer. It's like semantic HTML tags. It indicates to you what you're doing with this. It's not meant to be a parent of something. It's meant to be a marker. So it should probably never have children. And I also learned about move toward. I didn't know that was a function that existed. And I was coding with vectors for like 2 years in Godot. Just never knew this existed. It's a nice function. It does exactly what you'd expect. It moves it towards something. But like AI just naturally used this. And I learned about it. So now I know that it exists and I can use it myself. Trying to explain to the AI how to smooth the terrain and it fails 3 times back to back. Yeah, maybe it's worth trying to boil that into a script. Or not a script, a skill or a script, I guess. That maybe it could have some repeatable prompt that it knows how to follow. If you need some music stuff, I can give it. Thank you for the offer, but I do want to make the entire soundtrack myself. I've now made the last 2 soundtracks I've done myself for Botland and for Skeleseller. So I'd like to have a 3rd soundtrack under my belt. And so far, I've actually made a good chunk of music for this game. Like, we have the title screen. And then the platformer. The farming game. The top-down shooter. And then this just uses Skeleseller music. So, I mean, I did compose this, but not technically for this game. And then I made half of the music for this game so far, which you probably heard already. And yeah, thank you, Tyler King. The fall short on understanding architecture programming is in foundational principles for a project. It works better for modular programming. I only really use it for features that I have a pretty good idea of how I'd code. So if I was just like, hey, go make me a 2D platformer game engine almost, I'd probably want to put some thought into it myself first. And that way I could judge, what did it do? How did it turn out? The more examples it has to pull from in your code base, or the more you can point it at, I think the better it'll do. So for example, for this newest task here with the knights and laying out all these things, I already had, I don't know why this happens. I already had this, which is very similar. The player already has a ton of animations here. And for example, when they attack, you can see the hitbox change on the sword. So it's like, one, I know that this is very usable. It's easy to see exactly where the sword is slashing and whether that makes sense. Like, do you want to extend it on the top maybe and give it a couple extra pixels so it's got more reach? Like, you could do those things. Which actually, I probably should do that thing. Should probably write that in polish or cleanup or something. Maybe in the fun check. No, this is top-down shooter. I want the... Here it is. Should we extend the sword hitbox, the player's sword hitbox slightly? I think it's a little bit too punishing now, even against predictable enemies. Sword fun, one of these two things. We don't necessarily have to do both. Maybe we do both. Okay, I have been streaming for a while. I am going to get going. I'll be back online tomorrow to work on music. We're going to try to come up with music for the Endless Racer part of the dungeon game. So, is online. I rated that person. Yeah, I rated that person. Sometimes I kind of want there to just be like a, just go randomly raid somebody. No, I'm just going to sign off. Sorry, I'm spending too long doing this. Yeah. Yeah, and a lot of people that I want to raid have longish uptimes. All right, I'll be back tomorrow. Good progress today. Hope you all had a good one. I'll see you next time.